Like nothing else is needed. Don't cook it.
Yeah,
No.
literally, that's it.
It's a waste of time, okay? It's a waste of time. It's
Do you
tasty
cook
the way it
dinner
on the
is.
stove. Just leave it
oven?
on the stove for a minute, and then you're probably good.
No, you gotta put it
She
in
puts
the
it
oven.
on top of the oven while it's preheating and cooking, and then it's just like, perfect.
Foil over the top, 30 minutes,
Oh.
lickety split.
Oh boy.
On this
30
episode,
minutes?
Rory makes
That's
bad
way
decisions.
too long.
give it a quick five each side.
No, it's like
I don't
15.
know. Can I wait
Alright,
5? That's
15.
crazy.
Anyway, welcome to the Hallowed Expanse, our brownie review channel. No, just kidding. Our food
Like my
review
cook.
channel. Question of
Oh
the
my
day
God.
is how do you guys like your brownies? Okay, what
Cooked.
doneness do you
With
like your
egg
brownies?
cooked.
Actually
Fully
cooked.
baked,
In
fully baked.
solid form.
Baked as a brownie, not as the batter.
Not
Between
runny.
on a scale of blue rare to well done, how do you like your brownies? Anyway, welcome to the
Yo.
Hallowed Expanse. We are gonna
Yo.
get into some D&D after just a couple announcements and introductions. If you have not been here before, this is episode 3, so you haven't missed very much. And you're gonna fit right in. We're gonna do a recap here in a few minutes, so you won't be lost. Just a few things about the campaign. This is our crew right here, and unlike Reflections of Chaos, I am the sole DM. We are not rotating, so we have all these wonderful players, some new faces and old, and we are also doing D&D for charity, like always. This campaign, we are supporting the Trevor Project first. We have a $300 goal. We are already at $40, which is awesome. If you don't know about the Trevor Project, they are a organization that focuses on LGBTAIQ plus mental health. They're really good and supportive about trans youth, and they have really well-trained counselors and support people for those who are maybe questioning, who those just want to know more, who those need a support group, or just how to learn how to be a better ally in general. Trevor Project is really, really good. We've supported them before, and they're great. We love them. No pressure to donate monetarily. We know that it's a really, really tough time of the year. So just your support being here is equal amounts of time as it is donations. I don't know what the fuck that was, but the point is we value you whether you're here or whether you're donating. Yes, okay, words, very difficult. We have a couple of incentives if money is on the cards for you. $20 is a dice re-roll where one of the players or the DM, your choice, has to re-roll their next check. The players get advantage, which means they get to take the higher of the two. I get disadvantage, which means I have to get the lower of the two. We have a $50 goal where you can spawn a monster in our next combat. It won't affect immediately, but next combat you will get to spawn an additional monster. And we have a really big goal of $100. If you donate $100, you get to become an NPC. So you'll coordinate with me off stream. It doesn't happen immediately. You'll coordinate with me off stream to become the next tavern owner, shopkeep, traveling caravan, or something, and you will be a part of the Hallowed Expanse. So lots of really fun things if money is in the cards. If not, just be here and support us is more than enough. That is enough about me. Let's let everyone introduce themselves, and we are going to start with Demo. Demo.
Hi everybody, my name is Demo. I have my own humble little channel where I stream every Tuesday and Thursday. We're currently streaming in support of charity. That charity is called the Broken Tail Rescue. It's where me and my wonderful girlfriend Blanket have adopted our 2 sweet kittens, Mochi and Maru. Every $100 we raise, we'll be doing a special test cooking stream over on Blanket's channel where we make some cat-friendly treats. And feel free to stick around. As always, all subs and bits to my channel go in full toward the charity. So if you want to support the channel, support the charity at the same time. We'll pass things right along here to X in a fantastic looking hat.
Thank you. Sorry if my voice is a little bit gone, everybody. I'm X. I play Dusty Champagne. A little bit about me. I play a lot of indie games. I stream randomly at random days at random times. So, if I'm on, I'm playing something indie and probably really cool. Highly support it. And besides for that, I want to say shout out to Graphi Honse for making all the character art that we have in our intro. Super talented, really amazing, and just overall great process. I highly recommend them if you're looking to get character art done. That's it for me. I'm gonna pass it along to mix it up a little bit. Blanket.
Ooh. Hiya, I'm a blanket burrito. Over on my channel, probably equally as sporadically,
We like to play MapleStory, and there are always cat cameos, so I invite y'all to watch me get confused over how to probably not play this class I haven't seen before, and also probably get sat on by my cats. Like Demo mentioned, we are currently holding a charity for said shelter that we got them from to help more fur babies like us find their homes as well. So again, like Ari mentioned, donations not required. Company is always valued, but if you're able to, it really helps a kitty find their home. And on to Saul.
Hello, everyone. I'm Saul. I'm a streamer from Texas. I have the honor of being the executive producer and cast member of Turntables RPG. We usually stream on Tuesdays. I'm very happy to announce that we are going to be starting our season 3 of Monster of the Week on February 14th, Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
So come on by. Something's in the air. That will be at 7:30 p.m. Central, 8:30 p.m. Eastern, and 5:30 p.m. Pacific. If you'd like to catch up on the story so far, all of our seasons and one-shots and so on and so forth are on our YouTube channel. Just search it up at Turntables RPG. You can also follow us on social media in order to be on top of all the announcements. I'm going to go ahead and pass it off to my very good friend, Wolf.
Hello, everybody. I'm Wolf. I'm playing Rocio Soldador, and I stream occasionally. Well, Mondays, Tuesdays, and Fridays mostly. I've been very addicted to this game called Brawl Stars. Absolutely terrible. Very addicted. Not a good thing. But having a good time while I'm playing it. I think that's the important part. Well, that's it for my announcements. Ari, would you like to take it away?
Yes, I can take it away. Oh god. I thought I could take it away, but I could not take it away. Okay. All right, we're gonna get into it. This is your warning to turn down your guys' watch together. Turn your watch together down. I'm going to start the music.
Also,
Go for
I
it.
play Rigel Darkstar.
There we go.
I forgot to say
There
it.
we go.
I don't think I mentioned
Smashing.
Smashing. We love it,
did
Rigel.
Eliza.
We love Rigel. Okay.
He's the best. He's a favorite.
Oh my god, the ping in the music, it sounded like a Facebook notification. It freaked me
It
out
did
for
for
a
a
second.
second,
I was
yeah.
like, whoa, what is happening? Okay, alright. Friends, what happened last session? Who is your note keeper?
I'll start. I will start. DM. So at the beginning of last session, I'm pretty sure we started with Rigel's circus act, which we described as being kind of like this. It's very centered around Rigel in general, where Rigel having kind of like very heavy social anxiety in general was getting very freaked out by the crowd that the circus had drawn, and so they were focusing very much on their fushigi orb, and kind of were essentially the whole event was the circus kind of building this ramshackled like obstacle course for Rigel to kind of move their way up. However, they rolled terribly, absolutely terrible. So the panic attack got worse, and they did inevitably start to fall. Though they were saved and kind of like helped to kind of like calm down. Meanwhile, at the same time, we've got the Wild West going on at this auction. Literally. It's a wonder it did not come to blows. But essentially where we started back up on the session was, if I remember correctly, Corvo with their hand still on one of the ingots of this of the steel that was being sold at this auction, like
And
in front of the
everyone
owner, in front of everyone could see the hand on the ingot, literally. And then also like Dusty right beside him trying to like, I believe you were trying to like broker a deal while this was happening.
Roast saved the ingots.
Broker a deal.
Yeah, with
And then
money he didn't have.
and then Rocio and Karen or Claren were like,
Karen.
I know I said
Oh
Karen.
no! Oh
I said
no! It's
Karen.
happening! It's happening!
We're like, again, the two people who are like the two PCs who are facilitating this this auction are looking at Corvo with their hand on the ingot, and that's what I like. that's where I remember. I'm gonna pass it off to those who were like a part of that situation to describe what happened next.
Who will
Wolf,
take it?
I'm gonna call on you.
I mean,
What's the
honestly, thankfully, the deal didn't go through through magical means or otherwise. We did find a very rich fellow that gave us 3,000 gold for 10 ingots, which
Mhm.
was an insane deal for both Claren and Rocio. Truly unbeknownst to Rocio, kind of confused about whether or not like everything's okay. But thankfully, things went out without a hitch. Peace was brokered. Nobody fought anybody. We're
Almost.
passively friends, almost. Of course, that's when Rigel arrives in the scene,
best.
seeing the most shiny thing there being Rocio, and admiring each other's armors and flexing and having a good old time before our union was interrupted by an assistant with very nervous, powerful energy, asking for us to be invited to the king's castle or the king's court for a meal. Now, we were called friends and associates, even though we barely know each other. But Rocio, looking at this very exacerbated assistant, couldn't help but say yes. And that's where we leave ourselves currently.
Very good. Yeah, like 70% of the session was them just trying to, one, defuse the trade agreement, and then two, make the trade agreement, to which the people trying to get said steel didn't actually end up getting any steel.
Right.
It was this close, like this
Dusty, what
close.
did you learn? You learned a very valuable lesson.
What did you learn?
Yeah,
To
don't
check
carry on
your
a new.
gold,
I
dog.
learned to double check my funds before I go somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Literally one of my top 5 moments of that session was you realizing that you only had silver in your bag and
Very
not
true.
gold.
Very true.
Why is this silver to gold standard? It's supposed to be just all gold.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Like-
What I still wonder though is like, how did his boss intend for him to buy out the ingots clean if that's all he gave him?
Literally.
I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know.
A mystery.
I have some
Yeah.
ideas.
Maybe it was intentional.
I don't know.
Mm.
Maybe. You guys will have to
Must have
find
run me out
out
of
in
business.
session 3, which is not a trading shopping episode. All right, so we're gonna get
Yay.
right into it. So basically, the
Trade-off.
party is together now. You guys are all standing kind of in the middle of this marketplace. I'm gonna switch us over to the map, even though I don't have a map yet. It's coming. It's coming. For everyone at home, they are in the port of Qual, which is in that little northern city. And you guys are standing in the marketplace. Whoa!
Oh,
Whoa!
Here we go.
Yeah, here we go. Here we go. You guys are standing in the marketplace. A lot of you just kind of have just met. The market has kind of calmed down a bit. It's not quite as hustly and bustly now that the main event has kind of been packed away and is being shepherded back to the ship. And you guys have all just found out that you were invited to the King's Court for a dinner party. And that is where we left you. So I am going to leave you guys to roleplay for a little bit. You are all just kind of standing there together.
Before we sort of like start off, any directions whatsoever to where we actually need to go? Like,
Yeah, that's a
would
good-
Rocio know
Is
where?
there a castle?
Yeah,
So you didn't ask. The assistant really
Right.
didn't give you much time. This assistant is used to dealing with Luna and
right,
more
right.
experienced people. So I think the assistant would just kind of assume that you would have known where it is.
Great.
How
You
many-
can-
From the port, I would know
I-
where it is.
I
Yes.
want to know how many DMs are like in the audience / in this group who have had that same thought run through their heads of like, well, you didn't ask, so.
So
many times,
sorry.
Many times.
Uh,
So many
group
times.
sigh.
Corvo,
Oh,
you
cool.
would definitely know where the King's Court is. You'd probably be the only one that knows where the King's Court is. Any more
So
point
I'll
of
just
order
kind of-
questions?
I think that's pretty much it.
Okay.
Rocio would sort of, I mean, technically the only person that Rocio has interacted with is Claren, like in an official capacity. So, you know, I'm not gonna.
Y'all had a
I am
whole
not
moment.
gonna ask Rigel where the King's Court is. Rigel, do you know where the King's Court is?
Y'all are funny.
Are you asking me in character or what?
No, I'm not asking you in character.
Damn it! Why not? What about my character does not inspire
Nice answer.
confidence?
I'm just saying, where we last left off, I was in the middle of a conversation with the assistant. So I'm not currently having a conversation with Rigel. As much as I would like to have a conversation with Rigel. So
Well,
that'll
then
happen
have a conversation with Rigel. I need to know how he's going to answer this.
for
I
now.
need to know.
I'll look over to Claren and go, do you know where we're supposed to be heading towards?
Would I have any idea? Because, I mean, no.
You haven't. You have most likely been to the marketplace of Port maybe a handful of times, but
probably
you've
not
never
more than that.
been in. You've probably stayed on your ship because your fleet is like more elite, so you have like holding cells and multi levels and stuff like that. So you'd be familiar with the market, but not necessarily anything outside of that.
Unfortunately, the most I usually go is the market, as I'll come to drop my fares and head to the next location.
I guess at this point, Rocio would turn around to everybody else and go, well, since we all are sort of tied in this together, would anybody happen to know where the King's Court is?
Oh, you haven't been here before.
No.
First time.
No. How convenient for
Rigel
me,
thinks
then.
we're friends, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Of course, Rigel. Not a problem.
Presumptive, but
Hey, you don't know his name. You don't know his name.
Yeah.
Metagaming.
No, I'm saying it in terms
saying it.
Oh shit! Shit!
I'm
You're
saying
right.
it
You're
out
right.
loud
You're
all the
right.
time.
Okay,
You're wrong.
I
You're
retract my
wrong.
statement. I retract my statement.
Helicopter DMing?
well, if you all don't know where you're going, I happen to know the exact location.
Well, then, lead the way.
Yes, new business buddy.
Do it for anything to steal.
Well, when I get
I
one.
think that's a little bit too much. You already have an invitation to what is a royal court. I'm sure a man as such as yourself would find lots of places to do business or royalty to do business with.
Can't blame me for
Rigel
trying.
thinks we should come
Follow
up
me.
with games for the sleepover.
I don't.
Rigel knows some games, but does Rigel's friends know any games?
Right, so he's a part of your entourage, is what I'm getting out of this. I'm looking at Rocio.
Well, Rigel, that is your name, correct? Rigel?
Rigel's Rigel.
Oh, wonderful. I honestly didn't want to assume. I feel like I was going.
Rigel appreciates that.
Oh, wonderful. Great. So I don't know any games, but if it's a free meal and somewhere to be for a couple of hours, would you mind leading the way, Corvo?
Sure, I can think of a few gnomish drinking games you can play there. Maybe not the drinking.
Rigel
part.
likes trinkets. Do you have trinkets? And I think
gonna
Rigel,
slowly-
right the moment you say trinkets, Rigel's gonna come up right next to you, just like fushing it up.
Drinking. But I'll take out a little toy that I have, like just a series
Ooh.
of gears that are like interlocked into each other inside of a box. Just be like, they spin.
My
Rigel's
sauce is
immediately
it
gonna
out.
take the toy. Immediately gonna take the toy, and like with like yeah, very dexterous. It's
Okay.
weird. He's like doing the fushigi with like one hand, and the other one he's like playing with the toy just like with his fingers, which like they shouldn't be bending the way that they are, but like, he's like, he's like playing with it and stuff like that. And he's like, "You're Rigel's new best friend."
Oh god, what have I done? This way. I'm just gonna start walking.
This boy is talented. He's got a gift.
At this point, I'm gonna hustle just a little bit to slide him next to Corvo. You know, I'm sure we could give him a mug and see what happens.
What? I'm sorry.
Because you had mentioned drinking, so I'm like, I'm sure we can give him one mug and see what happens.
As entertaining as that would be, apparently I'm associated with all of you, so maybe we refrain.
Too chaotic
He
for
might listen
Corvo.
up a bit later.
Ooh.
Give me a
I
few mugs and we'll see what my answer is.
So you guys are starting to move
Yes.
Right.
Following. Okay.
Start to meander down.
Yeah. So right as you are kind of setting off, Rigel, you feel a hand on your shoulder.
Rigel will turn around.
Okay. And it's Master Faraday, and he says, Rigel, where are you going, kid?"
Rigel's going to a sleepover.
Okay. And
These
at
are
this-
Rigel's friends.
I don't feel good about this.
I do.
Rocio hears
You
this,
know
goes like,
that?
"It's not a sleepover. It's not a sleepover. Rigel has found himself involved with the king, so we are actually going to meet the king's court to just have a meal, relax, and yes, these are, I guess, my associates now that we've found each other here."
Oh, okay. And kind of like gets really close to Rigel. "Do you know them?"
Yeah, they're my sleepover buddies. They're Rigel's.
It's not.
Once again, not a
no,
sleepover.
There's no.
I don't
It was
like the
not a
phrasing of that.
sleepover.
Okay. Who are you?
Well, I'm
yeah.
Rigel.
Yes,
Rigel's
Rigel.
Rigel.
That's
The
a
rest
loaded
of
question.
you. Rigel's
Um,
friends. Who are Rigel's friends?
Rocio will step ahead and sort of offer a handshake, and go, "My name is Rocio Soldador. I'm from Mercado Soldador, and
Oh, okay.
I was here selling some wares, and of course, the king's associates have come upon me to meet and sort of have this sort of meeting. To be quite frank, I don't know what it exactly pertains to, but they invited everybody here, and we ended up sort of being connected in that way."
Well, the sleepover.
And you are taking Rigel to the king's court?
Well, I feel like
With-
Rigel is a free person to, I guess, free tiefling to walk around, no?
Ooh, what tone are you saying this with? Are you saying this with like a "I told you so," or are you saying with this like an aggression, or
Wait, like Rocio?
yeah? What
Mhm.
tone are you
Oh.
saying this with?
I guess it's more like a very soft suggestion. Like, I don't know the situation between like Rigel and Faraday, so it's a very like non-intrusive, but still like Rigel's their own person. They can do what they'd like.
Okay. Master Faraday kind of like takes a little step back, and hand kind of drops off of Rigel's shoulder and says, "Yes, Rigel can do what he wants, but also Rigel is special to me, and I've never seen you before, and now you're taking them to the king's court. I just
Claren is. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I just am a little unsure about this."
Yeah, Claren is gonna step up, and he goes from
This
his
is vague.
slight mischief making with Corvo to kind of turning on the professional charm. So to Master Faraday. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Claren. I am the heir apparent to House Nefera. I
Right.
understand your concern. Please rest assured, the king has only invited us just to extend his greetings and his hospitality. It'll be but a dinner, and we'll take very good care of him. He'll be well fed, entertained for an evening, and then he'll be delivered back to you.
Delivered.
Oh, okay.
Rocio's kind of like
Oh, I
hanging a
don't
little
know.
like,
But delivered back definitely.
Master
Well, I
Faraday
mean, I'm
kind
assuming
of
we're gonna have to
no.
escort him back. He's not gonna come back by himself. The guy would get lost.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair.
Master Faraday kind of looks at everyone individually with a very like analytical eye, and says, "Okay, my name is Master Faraday. I didn't mean to get off on the wrong foot. Rigel is like a child to me. I just have a hard time."
Is this your father, Rigel?
I think Rigel's just kind of like Fushigiing around. He's like,
Yeah.
no,
Oh,
No,
Dusty
not
takes
to
off
my
his
child,
hat.
not my child.
Oh,
Like a
my
child to
apologies,
me.
My apologies.
I have known
Oh,
I've known Rigel since they were very small, and
I see.
I just
Okay,
we're a long ways away from home. I just don't want him to
of
go missing
course,
or
Of course.
Rigel's
Um,
gonna Fushigi past Corvo and Dusty and point to them individually and say, "This is Red and this is Hat."
That I am.
Okay.
That I am.
yes.
I can't explicitly disagree with that.
Well, since we are also newcomers to this port, where will you be residing? If anything, we can make sure that Rigel does, as Clarence said, we can escort him back to his domicile. and-
Yes. Okay. Yes. I understand. I'm not trying to intrude,
Of course
Rigel.
not, of
I'm
course
not
not.
trying to intrude as you're fushiging around just totally. We are going to be staying there, and kind of gestures to like
Right.
the circus tent, which has
Okay.
now turned less into like a show tent and more into like a group of tents, and there's like
Right.
some supplies in the middle, like a very obvious like we're setting up shop here in the middle of
Right.
the market type of deal.
Well, very difficult to miss then, no?
Yes, that's the point.
Fantastic. Well, is there anything else you'd like help with?
No,
Uh,
no.
I
That's-
think at this point, Rigel will have like made his way kind of like around the group back to Master Faraday, and I think he's gonna like finish with like a strangely like very accurate kind of like balancing kata in front of him, and he's just gonna kind of like look at him and say, Rigel's gonna be okay.
You see Master Faraday look down at you with like a really like loving face, and whether Rigel like perceives this or not, I'll leave that up to you, but everyone else would perceive this as like very loving. And he puts his hand on your shoulder again and says, okay, I'm excited for you, and kind of gives you a little shake and then steps back.
Everyone needs a sleepover.
Yes,
Not
everyone
Phrasing,
needs
we gotta
sleep
work on the
over.
phrasing.
It's not exactly a sleepover.
And
just
Rigel,
dinner.
after this exchange, Master Faraday says yes, and kind of chuckles to himself, and then says, well, I won't be getting in your way anymore. Please enjoy your evening. We will be here if anything happens.
Wonderful.
And begins to walk away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But before he walks away, can Dusty step up and just he hold out his hands and just hi, Dusty Champagne, and
Hat.
T-
Yes, nice to meet you.
takes the
Hat.
hats off, hat as they say.
Yes.
And
Oh,
just I want to let you know that you have our word that we'll make sure Rigel gets back to you happy, healthy, and better. That's a promise.
Rigel's getting a lot of attention.
Master
that you
Faraday
are.
kind of side eyes you, gives you a handshake, but that statement is just really kind of weird. Yes, thank you, and kind of
Imagine
up.
like you're 8 years old and you're asking your parents to go on a sleepover, and one of the fellow 8-year-olds of the block is like, "We're gonna bring him back safe."
and better,
Seriously, like,
and better.
He will be happier, I
Stronger.
promise.
And y'all got
He will
fingers
be
with him.
stronger. Yeah, right?
I'm like, we'll take him home. He'll be fine.
Okay, yes. Well, have a good evening, I suppose. And
Okay.
kind of pulls out like a water skin from his side and takes a swig as he's walking away.
So Rigel was thinking spin the bottle?
All right, now hold on a second.
Uh,
How about cards? Cards is a good one.
so Corvo, how'd you get that arm?
Just calling it out.
That
Eddie,
is-
the
Worst
change-
pickup line ever.
Well, I mean, he
I'm
did kind of
sorry.
shoot a massive bullet from it earlier, so
It's not like we don't know.
We are
That
moving towards the
is-
castle.
We are, yeah.
Okay,
Like,
yes.
I'm
Now
assuming
we're
at this
walking.
point
Corvo
we're-
is like, this is expert navigation. Like, Corvo knows this shit like the back of his hand.
Which
Awesome.
hand?
Ooh.
Yes.
You
I mean,
pick.
technically both. I would assume the mechanical one.
Yes.
there. Like-
I'm going to, without turning to Rocio, just be like, that is a question that will require 3 drinks, and I'm only 2 in. I'm just kidding. I haven't had anything to drink today, which is a damn shame. But let's keep moving.
Wait,
Fair
so
enough,
we-
fair
wait. Is Corvo's arm like visible to all of us? I thought it was like
It's got the
Not
sleeve.
now.
No, it's got the sleeve.
Yeah.
They
Okay.
saw it because Corvo launched a fucking bullet out of it and was trying to
Right, right,
convince
right.
the trading master, Amret.
Yep, I did show it off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't think
Rigel has
Rigel would have
both of his
seen it yet.
arms?
Very good, Rigel. Yes, you
Are we
do.
doing-
I
or
don't know.
are
How to
we
tell-
doing
I
an
don't know how
arm
to speak
check?
to this person?
Well, I guess it is always good to do an arm check, especially after a battle. So, we haven't fought yet or anything like that. So I think we're okay.
Rigel will step up to Dusty and do arm check.
Oh, I will do an arm check. That you got me.
He'll do a double high five. He'll go up to Aaron. Arm check.
Wait, who me?
hmm Double high five. He's gonna go up to Rocio. Arm check.
Okay, arm check.
Double high five. And then he's gonna go up to Corvo. Arm check.
you do a trinket.
Ooh.
I'm good.
He's gonna stay in front of you and like walk backwards as you are like walking.
Come on, Corvo, do it.
You can't.
You're gonna
let the man
trip.
down.
You're gonna.
We all did.
God. I have my glove on. I want to point out, but I will just.
Go. As soon, like the most hesitated, like as soon as you raise it up like an inch, he's gonna double high five. Does
Ow.
does his mechanical arm feel different than a fleshy arm?
Well,
Probably.
I would imagine so,
Dope. I think Rigel's gonna, as soon as he hits your hands, whatever arm you have, the mechanical one, he's gonna interlock fingers.
Oh
and start
no!
walking with
Okay,
you,
that's
like
I
hand in
don't
hand.
know you like this, and I would very strongly appreciate it if you would.
Rigel would
release
like to
me.
know you like this.
Well, there's
Well, I
always
think
a
I should
spells
give
do I
him
have
room.
ready? What spells do I have
Amazing.
I
ready?
don't know.
Hold
What spells do you have, Ruby?
Amazing.
Can I cantrip a message into Rigel's head?
Is it just the message?
Yeah, it's just message.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm just going to, because it requires a short piece of copper wire, I'm going to extend my pinky in Rigel's direction, and
Ooh.
using the spell, it's just going to be, you really want to let go of my hand right now. I don't know if I might pick that up.
With message,
You can
Yeah.
respond to this message.
I think like mentally, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think both mentally and audibly, Rigel's like, Rigel's never had another voice other than the orbs in his head. That's cool.
Oh.
What is going on?
Oh, boy.
And
I
he
feel
will,
like we
he'll
learned
let
something
go
about
of your
Rigel.
hand. He will let go of your hand, and he will kind of like, he like, he has a very easygoing face in
Tighten
general.
the
He doesn't
glove.
ever really look super concerned, but he's gonna be like, I'm super excited. Rigel's super excited for this sleepover.
It's not.
Not a sleepover.
Your innocence
Yeah,
is
listen
amazing.
to your friend. This
But
not,
he
there's
will-
no sleep. There's no sleeping component in any of this arrangement, Rigel. I really need to get that through to you, buddy.
And again, this entire time he's been walking backwards in front of you, like stepping over
Watch out for the
objects. and-
Okay, there's a. Okay, I see. Okay, wow. Okay.
You guys are going
Why
through like the
tavern
tavern
shit?
district
How
right now. Rigel's like climbing over drunk people just super gracefully, climbing around kegs and barrels.
If there, like he hits the back of like a very like large individual, and he just kind of like raises his hands up and does like a backwards like turn over the guy, and then continues walking backwards, still looking.
I'm sorry, I don't know him.
Pan
Just
to
keep
the
walking.
dude's
Money
face, just
bags.
absolutely shocked. Tosses back as much beer as possible.
This is fun. I'm enjoying this.
I will, however, kind of look at Rocio's armor, just be like, some pretty impressive gear you have there.
Oh, yes. Thank you. It was made by some blacksmiths that we've been working in association with Mercado Soldador.
Magically
some
enchanted, I assume, by the inscriptions along the collar there and the...
extra modifications made by me. Yes.
Oh, interesting. So you have some hand in spell work.
I wouldn't say I have a hand in spell work. My sister has always been much better at spell work and spell crafting than I have ever been, but it's more understanding arcane elements. Not that great, I will say, but it works for me.
Corvo will remember that. Corvo does not say this out loud.
Hey man, it could just be a quirk. Corvo will remember that.
Yes. You get the little text message on like the bottom right of your
Yeah.
screen
Right.
there. Yeah, Corvo
Awesome.
will just kind of make note of that. Can Corvo tell what kind of steel it is?
Yeah, I wouldn't go as far as to say that it's the special kind of steel. It is just like
Okay.
rudimentary steel. It isn't anything like too fancy.
Fair enough. Just like, well, if your sister is the one who helped you with those enchantments, I would say that your sister is a very talented enchanter.
Oh, surprisingly enough, not my sister. We,
Oh, no.
long story, met a very nice friend of mine, and they taught me how to work with runes more efficiently. But self-study, if anything.
Impressive. You may have to ask a favor from your friend then, or perhaps you one day if you feel so inclined.
Of course, as long as you don't steal from me, right? And just like bats him on the back.
Ow. Oh. Ah. You might have knocked a knot out of my back just now. That was... Oh, oh okay. Corvo will keep on walking.
Yeah, so as you guys are walking, since a lot of you have been here for the first time, as you're looking around, the Port of Qual is like a really like Tudor style of buildings, and like the vibe is generally very of that era. Like the buildings are like made of like thick field stones, and there's ivy creeping everywhere, and there's lots of like torches mounted for light. And you are definitely starting to notice like the quality of the buildings is increasing as Corvo is leading you closer and closer to the King's Court. You started in like the docks with like a lot of like working class houses, very like small.
Right.
Now you're in that more like shopping area and the tavern district. You see the occasional church, and you're seeing just quality of things increasing. The houses are a little bit bigger. Off to like the far distance, you can see a huge building. You don't necessarily know if that's the King's Court or not. Corvo, you would know that is not the King's Court. As you guys are continuing walking, is there anything else that you guys would like to do as you're traveling? Go for it.
DM, as we're walking by the churches, does there happen to be like little, I think they're called like little alms like bowls or whatever, where people put in donations?
Yep. There would be alms bowls. I mean, the Port of Qual has a lot of religions, so some people would believe in donating to their patrons, some would not.
Could I try to just, maybe prepare myself for my future investments in this steel, so to speak?
So, are you trying to do this stealthily?
Yes, extremely.
Walks up.
Okay,
shoves a
go
hand
ahead and roll
into the
me
bowl.
how
Thank
many
you.
times are you trying to do this? Are you trying to do this for every church? Or just one?
Just one for now. Just
See if you can get away with it.
Okay, let me get out my dice. Go ahead and roll me a stealth check.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh no.
my stars and stripes, I was not prepared.
Just
What did Sam Hill?
what in
no.
the damn hell?
Oh, lovely.
Alright,
Lovely.
okay.
Love that.
I
for
wasn't
us.
built for this.
So as
that
you
for
are
us.
trying to steal this this donation box essentially from the
Let's pick up
church.
the entire thing.
Yeah, you literally go to try to like pick it as you're walking and talking, and you're obviously distracted, and there's a guard right there. who is just watching you openly steal this box, and he grabs your wrist. What are you doing?
I hope you have a backup character, dog.
I sit there and I'm like, oh my goodness, what's going on? Why did you grab me?
Your hand is on the box.
No, it obviously had fallen off and I was trying to catch it.
He's just looking at you. At this point, everyone else is hearing this situation. Grip is very tight. You can try to escape it if you would like.
Could I roll deception maybe to see if he believes?
You can really try if you want.
Come on, buddy.
Hi.
Save your character.
Wow.
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 Okay.
Plus 8.
That was
Love
insane. So, yeah.
I love it.
What are you going to say to him?
Oh, I apologize if it seemed like I was, trying to take it or anything. I saw it slipping and I decided to catch it to make sure it didn't break or nothing. I just was trying to make sure that this fine piece of religious equipment was kept safe and, as pristine as it has always been. I'm deeply sorry if I offended. I am deeply sorry.
Oh, no.
My God.
Okay.
Turn on the charm here.
All
That's a
right.
persuasion check now.
The grip loosens, and he says, "Fine, but you should pay for my time," and taps the box.
Ooh, nice.
Why? Of course, I would love to donate, and I put in, two silver.
Okay.
I have that in surplus.
Nice.
The guard
Nice.
kind of rolls his eyes and says, "Get out of here."
Oh.
I appreciate it. Thank you. And you have a wonderful rest of your evening.
Totally ignores you. Also, as a
You just dropped
DM, I
50 cents
hate
in
that
that
you
box.
rolled that high, but as a player, I love that you rolled that high.
I've never played a bard before, so I'm going.
I was literally
in.
like, this DC is 19 or higher. Since the dude watched you openly try to steal this. You guys witnessed this, though. Like, you don't really know what happened, but you witnessed the exchange between Dusty and this guard.
Only one
That's
question I do have. Do we know from what patron this was, like what church? it
Yeah,
was
you
from?
can look up.
All
if
right.
you would like.
What is the patron?
Oh my gosh, hold on 1 second. Let me open my map. My mappy map.
Woo.
Dusty would not know which patron is which one. He's just.
No, you would not. Where is my notes? That's my theme song for the day.
Oh, it's a good theme song.
Oh my god, where the heck is it?
Won't be just like the
Sorry,
god of
guys.
retribution, the god of
No.
anti-theft.
The platinum dragon.
Oh
the most
no!
vengeful of dragons.
Yo, Dusty just turns to ash just on the
Just-
spot.
What
Not
the
today,
heck?
villain.
Oh, what? Where is it? Okay, continue walking. I need to find it. I have like my
Yeah, no
whole
worries.
patron's notes page, but I can't find
Can-
You're
it.
good, you're good.
Can Rigel roll a sleight of hand to steal Dusty's hat?
Yeah, certainly.
Dope.
Off
Go
the
for it.
top of...
Correct, off the top of his head. You heard me right.
I wouldn't be impressed, but Dusty has been giving monetary value to every person as he's been walking.
21.
Oh my god!
Wow.
Wow!
Yeah, I would say that you definitely do that for
Dope.
sure.
X, take off your hat.
No, my
Wow.
powers.
A pie.
Yes!
Rigel, 11 Lodge.
Yes! I
goodness.
love it.
Wow.
And that exchange allowed me
I
to
love
pull up
it.
my gods list.
Love
This church that you stole from
What?
is the Church of Shinar. Shinare.
Ooh. Do I happen to know anything about it? Could I roll like religion?
You can roll
to...
religion, sure.
Okay, here we go. Religion roll. Ha! Away.
Man, you don't
Oh,
know shit about
never
fuck,
mind.
but it do be a
Never
god
mind. Yeah,
It
it
I
do
will-
it
I
do
will
be a
so tell.
deity.
I respect that immensely.
There's only one deity that I know about, and that's it. No other deities.
It ain't this one.
If it ain't this one, it ain't anyone.
It ain't
Lord
anyone
and
else.
Savior Jesus Christ.
Well, anyways, Rocio just keeps walking in the same direction.
Did anyone?
Former
Did you
Woofer
note
of
that
Miles.
audibly, or were you just looking at the sign?
No, just yeah. Rocio was just looking at the sign.
Okay, cool. All right.
Corvo will
Um,
offer a mild
as-
bow to the guard.
As
Okay.
we're walking, is it possible for Claire to try and observe his surroundings? That way, if
Yeah.
we try to get back, he doesn't necessarily need a
Ooh.
guide. Like,
Yeah.
he can remember
Smart.
his way back to the ships.
Yes, go ahead and roll me a perception check.
Because I'm sorry, Corvo, I only trust in you so much, homie.
That is fair. I am taking the most direct route, to be fair.
I'm sorry, which one did you say? Ori?
Perception check.
Perception. Oh, Jesus, where the hell is that? Oh, there it is, Okay.
Let's go. Nice.
Nice.
These
That's
are
really
hot
good.
dice tonight. Let's go.
Yeah, I
For
would say
some.
that you
Yeah.
Some.
you're not necessarily like an expert cartographer right now, but because you're like your heightened senses for the lack of trust for whatever the hell is going on right now, you are taking
Whatever
down
happened.
some cross streets, taking down landmarks, and you should be able to get yourself back or mostly back.
Am I like dropping breadcrumbs along the way?
If that's what you want to do, you can. The city rats will have a feast.
At least they'll
Just don't let
appreciate
her.
us.
Please don't let her.
Rat King.
Rat King, we already lost Buttercup, so we need a new
Oh.
companion.
Can I roll for Buttercup to see if I can maybe like? Come
You
across Buttercup
already
later?
left Buttercup, and you're far beyond where you left her. That's
Never
on you, dog.
forget- Never forget you. What was it, sunflower? Whatever.
I hate you.
Oh boy.
So you
Wow.
guys
Yeah.
are
Justice for Buttercup.
You can't give them pets ever.
justice. We need some fan art. Justice for Buttercup. Let's go.
Justice for
Session
Buttercup.
0 to session 0, or session 1 to session 1. All right, that's our new hashtag. Flood Twitter. All right, so you guys at this point are like you are pretty close, and you all of a sudden kind of exit out of this like residentially like block with lots of businesses and homes, and all of a sudden you see a set of towering walls, like very high, like 15-foot stone walls, and every 50 feet there's a guard tower. Corvo, you would recognize this as the entrance to the king's court.
Yeah, don't get up to nothing.
There is
I
a
had no intentions.
large, like wooden set of doors and a iron gate that closes in front. There isn't a moat or anything like that, but it is heavily guarded. There's 4 guards in addition to the guard towers.
Yep. I will approach the guards and kind of stop in front of them, standing comfortably but at attention, if you will. Yes. Per the emissary of His Majesty the King, we have been summoned per invitation for, I believe, a dinner sortie.
Dinner party.
You may check with Rosie. What was that kind lady's name?
So
You
Rocio
did
will
not
walk
get
up.
the name. You didn't get the
did
name.
not get the name, but Rocio will step up and goes, "Thank you, Corvo. I am Rocio from Mercado Soldador, and we have been here personally summoned by His Majesty to attend this meeting. If you will allow us permission to enter, I'm sure we can."
Rigel and Rigel's friends are here for the sleepover, and he's just behind
It's
them. doing
not.
cookies.
We just can't keep calling it that.
And
The
as
guards
you
are
see, we
kind
have
of,
brought
like,
entertainment.
really eyeing the party, and one of the guards, like, you see as Rocio begins to talk and identify herself, the guards kind of, like, stand more at attention. They kind of, like, prim and proper up a little bit rather than doing the slacking gate work, and one of them leans into you while kind of eyeing the rest of the party, Rose, and says, "Lady Rocio, are you okay? Do you need us to..."
Fair question.
Well,
Do you need
the
help?
the change bringer,
choice.
the change bringer operates in mysterious ways, but these are my associates for the evening.
Very, very well. I will need them to sign into the guest book, if that's...
Of course, I'm sure they will be very amicable to this.
Okay.
Everyone, we need to make sure to sign in, so please make sure to do so.
Yes, we will take care of it there. And you see another
Wonderful.
guard with like a really long scroll, and this guard reaches up and rings a bell twice. Ding, ding. The other guard kind of unfurls the scroll. The scroll, not the skull, the scroll.
Oh no, I can't be here.
Pulls
This is
out
gnarly,
a
y'all.
feather.
Wrong party.
Has like a little, like a pocket quill, you know? Like all fancy schmancy. Alright, names?
Yeah, Rocio will sign in, Rocio Soldador.
Yes,
and sort of-
and the party, your friends, your compatriots, names?
Rigel will step up, take the quill, and say Rigel, and draw a smiley face as his signature, and put little horns.
Okay, yes, Rigel. And
he,
kind
he
of
will attempt to walk away with the quill, I think, just like after the moment.
and like picks it right out of your hand, and is really like holding the scroll and the pin up now. Just the names. I can write them. Just the names.
Oh, wonderful.
All right. Adam's apple.
Deception check.
You walked into the wrong bard.
Let's go.
Jesus Christ.
Nice.
Oh my god.
He
This
gets
is
away with it.
This is why I was
Yeah.
never allowed to play
Adam's
bard. I get it.
Apple.
Yeah.
Get it.
Yeah.
Yes, and
He also goes by hat.
hat. Writes
And
in
hat,
parentheses. And thank you. And the other two.
Wait, do you still have the hat at this time, or have you given it back?
Yeah, I gave it back to him.
Okay.
I just assumed when he
Okay.
took it off. He gave it back and I was like,
Oh, yeah.
And the other two.
Corvo Pharaoh Swain.
Corvo Pharaoh Swain.
Oh,
2 R's on the last name.
Pharaoh Swain. And you.
Not
Ferrero
Ferrero Rocher.
Rocher.
Oh, jeez. If I don't get that for Christmas from y'all, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
how do I pronounce
I
that?
can make this happen.
Is
We're in the same house, y'all.
Of course.
And you,
I do like
looking
Ferrero
at
Rocher.
Claren.
Yeah, so Claren will step up and, with a very courteous greeting. Hello. Claren of House Nefira.
The guard kind of like tilts the head at that and doesn't write your name down and says, "Yes, okay. Please come in." And you guys hear 2 bells off in the distance in response to this one, and the gates begin to lift and the doors open. And you are ushered in by this group of guards, where you are met by another set of guards. These ones are
boy.
much more heavily armored. Their armor is definitely like shinier, more adorned with like some jewels and a beautiful crest, which I will put in the chat for you guys later. Hasn't necessarily seen battle, but they are like large individuals, and they say, "Welcome to the King's Court. Please, this way," and begin to walk.
Cool. As we're walking, I'll turn over to Corvo and go, "Well, you are a man of your word, at least. So I do appreciate you taking us here."
Honestly, with the size of the walls, you would have found it eventually. I was just
Oh,
messing with you
well.
to see if I could get some steel.
As Rigel passes the guards, I think he's gonna put his face up to their armor like he did with Rocio when they first met. But he's quickly gonna kind of like pull away, kind of like looking disgusted. And he's gonna walk back up to Rocio and he's gonna say, "Rigel thinks that it's not as fun as yours."
Oh, they do look quite dull, that's for sure.
Maybe not out loud. Okay. I'm sorry about them.
Yeah, no, Rocio's like walking in with confidence, both hands behind her back, sort of just like, charging in, as it were.
Yeah, and as you guys begin to kind of like take this in, this is like a stark difference than what the rest of Port of Qual looks like. If you can imagine like a little bit of like a medieval street vibe where everything is kind of dirt and pitted and muddy and the houses are beautiful, but some areas are nicer than others, this is like lush. like a manicured area, and these walls are tall, and this area is huge. As you're looking off into the distance, you see another set of walls. These ones are lower. They are very fancy, like marble-esque. Like you can see them kind of shining in the distance. And you see like very small Tudor-style houses, but these ones are like exquisite. Like they have beautiful glass pane windows. They have like brass door handles. Those of you that come from a higher background would kind of know this as maybe like servant residences, guard residences, and you guys are getting closer and closer to the second set of walls. Is there anything that you would like to do?
I would like to slowly make my way over to Dusty and just kind of wrap an arm, my good arm, if you will, around his shoulder.
Not his best arm.
Does
Ooh.
Dusty wear a pocket square?
Dusty does wear a pocket square.
Nice.
I'm just going to left arm around the shoulder real quick and just kind of pull him and just be like, look, my
Oh, well, I do declare.
compatriot, there's going to be a lot of very shiny things in here, and I would advise you perhaps to keep your hands to yourself. And as I say that, I want to try to steal the pocket square out of his jacket.
Oh.
Sleight of hand.
Would I roll perception to see?
You're gonna. Okay, for
15.
15.
That is a beatable roll.
What's your passive perception?
Passive perception is 14.
Okay,
Ooh.
Corvo, you steal the
Ooh.
pocket square.
Oh,
I'm just
well.
gonna say that to him. I'm gonna keep my arm around his shoulder, as I said, just like, do we have an understanding?
As Dusty looks at the fun arm, I think we do have an understanding. And you know what? If we come across any future business deals, possibly here, I feel like if you want to work together, I can talk a little bit, do a little hype manning.
As I come away from his shoulder, I'm just gonna be like, I'll leave the negotiations to you, but maybe leave the sticky hands to me.
How did deal? He takes it, puts it back. That is impressive. My goodness.
Rigel will sneak up during this conversation, and at the end, he's just gonna kind of like insert himself between the two heads and say, "Rigel likes to whisper too."
Okay.
All
I'm gonna
right,
back
you
away.
You are a magic being.
Being. And,
Dusty is like broken, just like, how did you?
and at this point, you guys have reached these beautiful marble gates, where you're passed off to yet another set of guards. These ones are ironically less armored. They're more adorned, in like some very fine cloaks, that is got like plating on the inside, like almost like medieval or like fantasy like plated armor, but it's just this cloak. They do not seem to carry any weapons, and they open these gates and allow you in, and you are now within the king and queen's residence. This is like so lush, it like could be the Feywild for all you guys know. Like there are trees of every kind. There is a field of beautiful flowers. Like you have no idea how a perfect oasis like this could even exist. But it is gorgeous, and you are very close to this incredible castle almost. It's like it is a multi-tiered fieldstone building, but it doesn't have like the typical castle spire. It's more like a home. You see that there's a thick plume of smoke coming out of like 3 or 4 chimneys. You see people running around, hustling and bustling. Some are carrying things, some are not. They're all adorned in very like beautiful, luxurious like velvet dresses and suits, and it's a truly like a sight to behold. And you get escorted to the front doors. One of the guards uses the big knocker and knocks 3 times. Knock, knock, knock. And the door opens to a very, very tall elven, whether it's half elf or full elf, you wouldn't necessarily know on first gaze. Very long, wavy blonde hair, which is covering the ears. So you can only tell the facial features that there is elf in it. The 2 elves, I will give you the full deeds since you guys would know. Very long, wavy hair, a very big beard and a big mustache. On top of his head, there is this golden crown that is just adorned to the nines with gemstones, like rubies, emeralds, sapphires, diamonds. This thing is just encrusted with gems. He is wearing a blue and silver cloak, robe almost. There's silver trim and silver embroidery with that same crest that you saw on the armor. And just in general, very warm. A very warm face, a very warm vibe in general. And he says, "Oh, it's so good to see you," and is talking directly to Rocio. Welcome all of you to our home, and kind of gestures you in.
Yeah, Rocio will sort of do not a full bow, but sort of a quarter bow, sort of hand to chest and go, Your Majesty, thank you so much for allowing us into your residence and for inviting us to have such a wonderful meal.
Oh, please, spare the red tape, spare the red tape. You are just guests amongst my home. You and your family do so much for us. We truly, this is the least we can do. And begins to usher you all inside his home.
To a separate room, or
You guys are just going into the entryway currently, as in a holding point, so he can close the door.
Gotcha. So the king is still with us then.
The king is still with you, yes.
Okay.
Yep, the king is still with you. You are now inside the personal residence of the king and the queen. He has personally greeted you guys. And the first sight of this room, I mean, it's just as lush as everything else. There's banners, and there are mounts of different kinds of animals. There is a big roaring fire. There are the same type of service people kind of running around, some carrying big trays of food, some are carrying kegs of ales and wines, and just really, really busy. But that same very warm feeling, all of you kind of feel at home in a weird way. There's beautiful woven rugs on the ground. It's truly gorgeous. And he begins to walk to the left, and is talking about all the things. This is my home. Please look around, enjoy. We're going to the dining hall first, for you must be starving after a long day at market. And is kind of walking and talking.
Yeah, Rocio is definitely following. But I'd definitely say that if anybody's sort of paying attention to Rocio's face at all, there's definitely I want to say there's more of a stark difference between how Rocio looked when she was outside the castle walls and now inside. There's more of a cold glance that has started to seep in, and as sort of the layers of walls that we kept on passing through, more Rocio started getting more and more hardened as each wall and each entryway came through. So now she just has this really cold glance in her eyes as she just walks and follows through the king.
Are the rest of you following the king?
Mm-hmm. Rigel's gonna raise his hand and say, "Rigel likes a hat." To the king.
Oh boy.
Oh, thank you very much. It's my fathers and his fathers and his fathers before me. It's been in our family for ages.
Oh, that's nice.
Yes. And
Nice.
still kind of walking and talking. Everyone else, I assume you're following?
Yeah.
Okay.
Dusty is
Yep.
just walking and looking and just dollar signs in his eyes.
Dollar sign.
Ka-ching.
Corvo will probably tail the group, keeping an eye on Dusty.
It's so beautiful. So expensive.
I'm inclined to agree.
Curiosity.
Mhm.
What is Claren able to read in at all to the king's reception to Rigel?
You can certainly make an insight check.
Ooh.
Just because racism is kind of present in the port, I'm curious.
Mhm.
So you said insight?
Yep, an insight check.
Oh,
Oh boy.
I completely miss all the writing on the wall.
Yeah, unfortunately, you don't. The king is just very warm and friendly, and that is kind of an overpowered feeling for you.
Damn.
How noticeable is like Rocio's kind of like tenseness now? Or I guess
You know-
maybe tense isn't the right word.
You know, I would call it like a controlled tenseness. Like,
Okay.
like anybody who's like observant enough would be able to catch on whether or not like her gait has changed, like how like she steps. There's definitely like a measurement of holding something in.
Sure.
And it doesn't look like Rocio's like perfect at you know, being able to like fully put on the airs of anything.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I think Rigel's like very quietly. I think Rigel's gonna kind of like saddle up to Rocio and kind of like tap the armor very quietly, and just kind of say, "Hey, Rigel's on the lookout for a bathroom."
Rocio would sort of like look over to Rigel, and like there has to be like that moment where Rocio has to like trade out of that sort of like furrowed brow to like ease up and respond, well, I'm sure we'll find a restroom as soon as we enter the dining hall. We'll be able to ask somebody who can direct you. Is that okay?
Oh, Rigel doesn't need a go. Don't you need a poo? Your face is like. So you know, I didn't want Rigel didn't want to say anything. I'm just
yeah,
I get Rigel gets it though.
Rocio definitely like audibly like laughs and goes, I'll be sure to check out a restroom after we get a little bit more comfortable. Thank you.
Good. Best to get that out of the way before the sleepover.
Not a sleepover, but okay.
The king's kind of looking back at this. Oh, how lowly are you whispering, Rigel?
Yeah, it was like a.
Oh, okay, then never mind.
Contained
I was
between
like,
the two of
the
us.
king
I
is
wasn't
like,
trying to,
what the?
I wasn't trying to outwardly, like
Yeah.
embarrass Rocio. It's just I wanted
Gotcha,
to have that
gotcha.
little moment. Yeah.
Rigel's attempt at being smooth.
Yeah, so at this point, you guys have made it to this like long dining hall. It is like chair, like infinite number of chairs. This is like a gorgeous like mahogany table. There is like so much food and like fruits and vegetables and different types of meats and beautiful artisan bread loaves, and it's just like a feast that most people would never see in their lifetime. Yes, Dusty.
Do they happen to have slightly warmed brownie batter?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, man.
It's fully baked brownies. No way that a king would have,
Things.
you know? Unless the king likes that.
There are
in which
lots
case,
of baked goods of all varieties and doneness. And You see at the head of the table there are two very similarly encrusted gold and silver chairs. In one of the chairs there is a woman who you would presume to be the queen, who has a very similar appearance in terms of regalness and warmness as you're getting closer and closer. She is wearing a identically colored blue and silver dress. It's one of those beautiful fitted dresses on top, and you see that there's just fabric and fabric and fabric that she's kind of pushed into this throne that's equally embroidered with that silver thread and those crests. Her hair, however, is a beautiful jet black. And it is done up in this really elaborate kind of updo. It's not like a beehive or anything crazy, but it's just very intricately braided, and there's different loops and buns and braids, and it's all tied into this crown essentially. The crown fits perfectly over her hair. Instead of gold, it's silver, but it has the same types of stones. It's got those rubies and those emeralds and those sapphires, and it looks very old, but very beautiful at the same time. And she says, "Welcome, welcome. It is our honor to have you here."
Rocio once again speaks up, and with the same sort of level of grace that she offered the king, quarter bow as well, and go, Your Majesty, once again, thank you so much for inviting us into your home and for hosting such an extravagant dinner.
"Oh, please, no red tape. Sit, sit," and kind of gestures you guys to sit in whatever chairs you want. I would say there's probably 5 or 6 chairs on each side, and then they are sitting at the head of the table. The king then joins her and kind of puts his hand over hers, and they're just both looking at you very warmly.
Rigel likes your hair.
"Oh, thank you, thank you. It's quite beautiful. I could never do it myself. I have the help of many."
That's nice.
Who is sitting
I
next
think
to who?
Corvo will take a seat somewhat close to the king.
Okay, great.
Maybe not the one directly next to the head of the table, but maybe 1 or maybe 2 seats in, if you will.
Yeah, you're leaving a gap, a space.
A respectable width, if you will.
Question
Yeah.
for you, Demo. What side is your arm on? The mechanical one?
Oh. My right.
Your right arm? And the way
Yep.
that you're seated, is the king to your left side or to your right
He'll
side?
be to my right.
He'd be to your right?
Yep.
Okay.
So I need to look to my right, the direction of my arm.
DM,
where
is
the king is sat.
is the seat next to
God.
Corvo filled, or
It's
is
open. Corvo is
It's
not sitting
open.
directly next to the king. So
Fantastic.
you would be
I think,
sitting
I
next
think
to
Rigel's gonna sit to the right of Corvo.
Wow.
Is that right next to the king, or is there still
That is
another
right
seat?
next to the king.
Wow.
Fascinating. I think yes. That Mm-hmm.
I swear to God.
Okay, so
Yeah,
Corvo
pretty
and
solid.
Rigel sit down. Where are the rest of you
Oh, I
going
swear to
to
God.
sit?
Dusty will take the one, leave a spot open next to the queen, but then the one next to that.
Okay, great.
Yeah, so then technically, I guess let me just ask for image sake.
Yeah, point of order.
The king, at the sort of head of the table, there are 2 seats, the king and the queen, essentially.
Yes, let me
Okay, great.
try to draw it for you. I will have a map for next session, but for
No
now I'm
worries.
just going to freehand. Okay, so of course it's in black, so that's not very helpful. So
That
their
works.
2 seats are then and then
Cool.
so far, go ahead and move yourselves to where you're sitting.
Yeah, you know what? I think
Oh.
Yep, so this is king.
Oh.
King. Oh boy. King.
yeah, you know what this works.
Yep, and then
Essentially, yeah, Rocio would be sitting opposite to Rigel, and yeah, I think
Perfect.
that's where.
So
As
then,
planned.
By default.
Aria, real fast, I'm not sure if the table is coming up on the stream.
It is not. That's a
Okay.
static image until I fix how I'm capturing it.
Fair
So
enough.
you guys use your imagination. Sorry, chat.
Woo.
Sorry, chat.
Theater of the mind. Of course.
So okay, and as you guys all kind of sit, the queen kind of like claps her hands a couple times, and then a flood of servants comes and starts ladling things onto your plates and pouring you ales and wines and waters, and it's just a flurry of activity. And then everyone, as quick as they came, they leave, leaving only some guards and a few servants that are like personal butlers to the kings and queens, you would assume. And they both raise their glasses, and the king says, "A toast to new friends and new business adventures."
Cheers.
Yeah, Rigel will
Left hand.
mimic, but he's gonna kind of lean over and whisper to Corvo and say, "He's like, Rigel doesn't say any toast."
Later.
And the king like cheers as all of you, and then takes a drink and puts his drink down.
Yeah.
The king does not sip.
The king is sitting. He never stood up.
No, sip.
Oh no,
Does the
he
king
does
sip?
sip. Yes, he sips.
Okay.
Is it?
Corvo will wait till they do and then take a sip.
Okay.
Yeah. Are we clinking with like water or like the alcohol?
He didn't clink your cups. He just kind of like did the
gesture.
the gesturing. Yeah, you can pick up whatever you want. In front of you, you have your big dinner plate that has just a bunch of shit on it right now: meat, vegetables, fruits, everything. And then you have your cutlery. Then you have a small like ornate glass of water, a like silver wine glass of what you would presume to be some kind of wine, and then you have like a deep metal mug of ale.
Oh,
But before we get too deep, can Dusty try to like signal to Corvo to not let Rigel get alcohol?
oh, well, that's actually really funny because Rigel grabs the water. He like toasts with the water.
Like,
If you did want to do that, you would have a pretty high stealth roll. But
A toast with the water?
no, sorry.
No.
X. Yeah,
Oh, for
Yeah.
okay.
yeah, to signal you.
On a scale of 1 to biscuit, do I risk it?
Biscuit.
You do see that Rigel clinked with water.
Dusty will hold off, but he'll keep like an eye, just like.
Okay.
Cool.
So
Cool.
after this cheers, you know, the king takes his drink, the queen takes their drink, and they, you know, begin like eating and, you know, just taking small, like very dainty, like royalty bites. And the king says, "Lady Rocio, we know so much about you, but please tell us about your friends."
Well, the Changebringer has deemed it that our paths interlock in some capacity.
But I can actually cut.
But to be quite frank, I'm much more interested as to your invitation to your humble home. Is there a matter of business that I have not recognized here, or something
Oh.
that?
Of course not. This is a thank you for bringing your wares to the port of Qual. I see many of your associates and family members every time a shipment comes in.
I see. Well, is there any additional thing that is sort of traditionally done here that I might
Oh.
be?
No, of course not. We typically just eat and drink and discuss the great success of the market, and occasionally we gossip.
Ah, I see. Well, I'm not really one for gossip, but does anybody else? And sort of like turning around to everybody else's. Anyone else have anything to gossip or say?
Do I know the economic standing of the Port of Qual?
You would know that. So I think everyone here would know that the Port of Qual is like the biggest city. Like this is the New York of the Hallowed Expanse without the pizza rats.
Whoa,
I'm just
that's
kidding.
not New York.
Without the
I'm just-
pizza rats.
The economy, like if you're trading something especially high value, like this is the place to be. I think that based on your interaction session 1 with the merchant, like the dock merchant, when Mercado Solador comes in, that brings the money. He seemed very keen on seeing what they were bringing, in addition to that Solidarian steel.
How big is the disparity between the wealthy and the poor?
Large. It's
my
a
family
large.
Extravagant.
Yeah.
From what we've seen,
Yes.
like wild.
Yeah, as you're
Yeah, so-
thinking about it, like there's a very noticeable gap. There's a very small middle class. It goes from working class dock people to upper class and then this elite group.
So it's like reality.
Yep.
So it's like real
So
New York.
Corvo will kind of lean forward and just be like, "So, my liege,
No red tape,
Pardon.
please, I insist.
forgive me. Curious question. With respect to the, some might call it disparity in wealth, with
Oh,
respect to the lower class, how do you intend to economically foster perhaps more growth or more, improved quality of living for those perhaps not quite as well to do?"
Rocio definitely goes like, like,
I was like, all right, if no one's stopping him.
Dusty looks anywhere else.
Yeah,
Just
so does
inspecting
Claire.
one of the very nice forks that's in there.
Rocio 100% glares at the king. Just like looks.
The king leans forward and says, "Do my people starve? Do you see anyone without a home?"
I'm just gonna hold up the fork that I'm using. Back where I came from, this could buy probably a week's worth of food just by itself. Never mind all the food on the platter before me. And continue to eating. Or just continue to eat. Food tastes delicious, by the way. My compliments to the chef.
Are you not from here?
Oh, I am.
Mhm.
I am, in fact. Part of the northern district. Would I know the district names? I don't.
I'll give you
I don't have that much info
I'll
on
give you
Qual.
the district's names, but yeah, you would be, depending on your class level or your family class level, you would probably be in like that working class or the upper class. There's not really an in between unless you think you would fit there.
Definitely the lower class. It's
Okay.
definitely the lower class.
Yeah.
It's definitely lower class.
Yeah.
Like,
This.
it's like, forgive my brusqueness. I was not afforded with a proper education, the luxury of a nice home, or decadent meals such as this. So, if my mannerisms are perhaps not quite up to no red tape, but pardon me.
And are you not
Yeah.
enjoying the finer things now?
Only momentarily.
Yeah, at this point, Claren is staring at Rocio like, dear God, we need to shut him up somehow.
Rocio holds up a glass to sort of like cheers at Claren, well, it is of course interesting company that we do find ourselves in.
Yeah, he'll lift his wine, casually and just in conversational response. Indeed, it is always varied folk that we find ourselves among. But should we not simply enjoy the moment as it is? And kind of gives Corvo the side eye.
Corvo's eating.
Are we doing a toast?
The king.
Yeah, keep your mouth shut.
No toast.
Yeah.
I
Keep
don't
your
think
mouth
so.
full. Yes.
Okay, good, because Rigel's not in his seat.
Oh,
Where's,
fun.
where'd Ryder
So-
go?
Uh-oh.
Like I think with this like little exchange, I think Rigel has taken his plate of food and he's gone over to like one of the butlers or one of the guards and he's kind of like holding up the plate of food to them. And And he's like, nobody's been paying attention until now, I suppose. So he's just kind of
Sure.
like gesturing to the food.
Uh, uh, is there something that you need changed? Is it not to your liking?
Oh no, well, Rigel saw you don't have a plate, and at Malagrath's we always share. So
Oh,
Oh, what
are
an
we?
angel.
And he turned back to the table and says, "Is Rigel not supposed to share?"
oh, we will eat later. It's okay. You enjoy it for now.
This is a
We
lot.
Yes, it's okay. We
A
will
lot
eat.
for Rigel.
We always eat. It's okay. Whatever you leave, it's okay. And she's kind of staring like at the king and queen nervously.
Rigel is genuinely confused.
Mhm.
Claren is gonna step in just a little bit, to distract from, Corvo's conversation topic, and then also to try to bail Rigel out. My lady, may I advise? He is quite the kind folk, and as well, are you aware that his circus is in town? They are quite the admirable performers.
Oh, is this one from the circus? We
Yes,
heard
he
many
is.
rumors about their wonderful performance during the market.
He was quite the star of the show.
Ah, yes. Well, please then, yes, I would love to see something.
Well, Rigel, Rigel wants to, but not everybody's eaten yet.
Ooh.
We gotta eat.
We will eat later. It's okay. Trust us. We do eat. We just don't eat at the same time as the king and queen. It would be disrespectful.
Why not?
It's just not custom here. And she has like that fake, like
Like again, he turns back to the table and he says, "At Malagrath's, we all eat together."
and she is kind of like looking like now a little bit like what do I do? A little panicked at the king and queen, and both their attention have kind of shifted towards Rigel and
Oh, also, what's red tape?
the king laughs. Ha! Oh, I like him. He's wonderful. Great traveling companion indeed. Please come sit. Or
Okay,
perform.
and he grabs the servant's arm and kind of like tries to bring her with him.
She's kind of fighting it a little bit. I'm really
And he
not
kind of, like,
hungry.
as soon as he notices that she's like resisting, he like lets go. Sorry.
No, it's okay. You did nothing wrong. I'm not hungry now. I don't eat right now. I'm not hungry. It's not my dinner time.
Okay, and he kind of like moves over and goes to one of the guards.
Oh no, same. I eat later, but thank you.
He kind of looks back at the table and he's super confused. It's like the air, I'm assuming, is filled with just like this aromatic kind of food, and like the table's like overflowing with food, and there's only, I'm assuming, 7 of us at this table, and it's like he's very confused.
So Dusty
Don't worry,
sits
Rachel.
there and like cuts in, just like, Your Majesties, I do wish to thank you for inviting Rocio and then the guests as well, the pluses, to this magnificent feast that you've gathered for us. And as you do see, we are a unique traveling party, but all of us are very appreciative of the extended invite to meet and greet your graces.
Please, it is our honor.
The honor is mine.
Of course.
Well,
Of course.
we
Jesus.
certainly appreciate your appreciation, but truly the honor is ours. This is but a small token of our appreciation, just a small meal amongst friends.
Whoa.
Dusty holds up his glass of wine. Well, I'm always down to make new friends.
Yes, okay. Well, would anyone like anything else? Or dessert, perhaps? A show? The queen is like very awkward, like she's kind of looking at the king for guidance. She's kind of like moving her hands quite a bit. You can tell that this isn't typically how these dinner parties go, and she is a little bit out of her element.
Might I ask why, if I do say so, if I do have the permission to ask?
Please, no
Oh,
red
no.
tape. And she says it like more firm.
All right, all right. It was such a very sudden invite extended to Rocio and those of us there that I feel like there was some sort of, forgive me for being kind of blunt, objective that you wish to gain from this meeting. Like
And the
there was
king
some
kind of
sort
pipes
of
up and
question.
says, I have already explained to you that any time one of our important merchants comes into town, we treat them to a meal. If it's not something you're interested in, you could have declined. And he's kind of like getting a little bit offended at this point.
Question: are any of the aristocrats of the group have any of them attempted to get Rigel back to their seat, or is
Not me, at
like
least.
yeah, I wanted
Let
to
me
ask
think.
if anybody was trying to get Rigel back into their seat, or if
I don't think
it's still
like a
being
staff would be. I mean, you're the guests.
Sure. No, I'm talking about the
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
aristocrats in the
yeah.
group.
The party.
I would have.
Dusty would gesture.
Yeah, I don't think
Like,
I don't think
but
Rocio would
if-
either.
Corvo
Okay.
would probably gesture for Rebs to come and just be like, "Don't worry, they're used to it."
Please, Ragel.
Oh, all right. And then I think Rigel will kind of like he'll come back and like sit back down and set the tray down, but he's just gonna be like looking back over his shoulder, at the servants and the guards like a lot. I think.
I think across the table, sort of Rocio would look over at Rigel and go, "Well, if anything, you can always leave some dishes set aside for them." And I think that would be a pretty
I just
nice way to share, no?
Rigel doesn't understand why they can't eat right now. Rigel sees empty chairs. Rigel thinks they could sit down.
The king and the queen are both kind of looking at each other, and the king says it's custom in our land to.
Well, if you don't have enough plates, that's completely fine as well. Then it's okay if you don't have enough plates to set down a couple of extra seats. Correct?
Hold up. I want to clarify what Wolf is deeming at this moment. So
Yes.
there are empty chairs.
Yeah.
There's not plates in front of them right now since the beginning.
There would be empty plates, but there would be no
Okay.
food on the plates.
Okay.
Oh, okay. If that's the case, then I was about to say because like if there was no like plating and etc., then
Yeah,
okay.
there's plating.
Yeah.
Like they didn't know how many
Okay.
guests to expect, but there's plenty of food that could go on the plates.
Oh, well, if that's the case, then it goes, well, I guess the solution is quite simple, is it not, Rigel? I'll turn over to, I guess, how many, people are in the room other than the king and the queen and us?
There would be, maybe, there is probably a male and a female servant for the king and the queen, respectively, and then there are 4 guards.
Okay, perfect. Clearly there's enough seating. Rocio will sort of like clap and go, fantastic. If you will please take some seats, we'll get the rest of this meal organized. As our compatriot here, Rigel has suggested, let's have a feast. Let's be merry. I mean, we can enjoy the evening as has been mentioned. And Rocio will start like putting, filling the glasses associated with a couple of extra people, and go, come.
Rigel will get up and scoop some food from his plate onto these empty plates around the table.
They don't move initially. They all look very scared, very confused, and then the king kind of is a little bit confused himself, a little puzzled, but also kind of taken aback. reading on his face is very conflicting. But as he sees it going, he, like, you guys, like, putting food on the plate and etc. He says, well, go on then, join them, if that's what you want to do.
Of course, as is tradition, I'm sure that you come here and you provide these lavishly amazing dinners, and it is tradition to share a meal in Port Almgren as well. So why not partake more? Let's be merry,
Well,
enjoy,
if it
share
is
traditions,
your
right?
tradition, sure. Please
course,
join
of
us.
course.
And all the servants very, like, hesitantly come take their seats and kind of just look really awkwardly at the plates and
Rigel's gonna grab his ale and the wine, and he's gonna walk over and he's gonna be like, "Wine or ale?"
wine, please. The
He's gonna
female
set it
servant.
down and then
Thank
look at
you.
one of the guards. Ale?
Ale, yes, is
And he's
fine.
gonna set it down.
And they're just kind of holding the cups, not drinking, kind of very, like, rigid, just nervous.
It's gotta
Yeah.
be hot in that armor.
Rocio sort of just like walks in with, she definitely has a glass of wine, sort of like cheers to them and goes, well, thank you so much for allowing us as well and partaking in this wonderful meal with us. Cheers.
Everyone.
Dusty holds up and is like, Your Majesties, thank you very much for allowing this exchange of cultures to happen. It shows just how wise and humble
Yeah.
you really are.
Bring it home.
You can tell, like, you don't even have to roll for this. You can tell that they're just not buying it, and they are just trying to get through this exchange with face.
Corvo slide a
Thanks,
hand
I
under
could
the.
sing a song.
I guess while that's going on, Corvo would like to put his metallic hand beneath the table. I assume there's a tablecloth of some sort.
Yes. Oh yeah.
He's going to point at one of the servants who has sat down at the table with his metallic hand under the table and cast message.
Oh.
Okay. Go for it. Which
I'm
one?
going
The
to-
girl or the guy? The queen's aide or the king's aide?
I'll do the Queen's Aid.
Okay.
So I'll gesture towards the woman who's joined us at the table. And I'm just going to, like, as we're all kind of looking at Dusty make this proclamation, Corvo is just going to lock eyes with her. And as he casts the message, he's going to say, "This is the man in red. Why are you scared?"
Her eye, like, she jumps and her eyes like widen, and you can see her like scanning, and then like locks eyes with you, and says, "Oh, hold on."
Oh. Ooh.
Let's go,
Make it
DM.
roll.
Let's go, DM. Let's go, DM.
Okay.
Ooh.
She kind of tilts her head down, and almost like feigns like looking at the
You can
cup.
reply to this message.
Yeah, feigns like looking at the cup, and you hear the response: "Servants do not eat with royalty."
Okay. I might try it on the guard next, but we'll see.
So,
At this point, the king and queen say, "Well, we have certainly had our fill of the main course, haven't we? We should get dessert, and then you must be so busy. We'll send you on your way after a tasty dessert." And claps, and the servants begin to get up very
Rigel will get up as
quickly,
well.
and they're headed towards the kitchen. Is
Rigel
anyone
will
going to
follow.
stop Rigel?
Rigel, please,
Rigel.
if possible. It's,
Well, Rigel, if you'd like, we can go help them bring in the dishes as well. I mean, might as well. It's dessert, right?
At this point, the king like puts his hand on the table and says, "I insist you stay seated and let my staff do what they need to do. If you don't want dessert, then you can leave."
Well,
A
Is this
show?
like a DM needs to make a persuasion check roll, or like what's the?
I
no.
will. I can. I mean, it's
I
not
would.
necessarily. He's not trying to be persuasive. He is more.
I'm gonna
I
say
will
this,
roll an
yeah.
intimidation, because
Okay,
he's
that's the whole
trying
thing.
to.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
If
I.
he's trying to openly intimidate me,
Yes.
or just intimidate. No, here's the thing. Rocio will go, well, if that's the case, then I think this evening is at a close. Thank you so much for this invitation. Very lovely, of course, as always.
Yes.
I'll be taking my leave.
We will walk you out. And they both like
Fantastic.
stand up, and the king says, "It's always a pleasure doing business with you and your family, and please tell Luna we say hello."
Of course, I will.
And I think at this point, all of you guys are being shuttered out. Like, you guys are no longer welcome in this house.
Corvo will leave the fork planted straight up in his food as he walks away.
Can Dusty like just be like, I am so sorry for everything that went on
Please.
this night. I really
I insist. It was a lovely evening, was it not? We'll see each other again next time. Ka-chunk! Like, yeah, you guys just got the door slammed in your face.
Rigel thinks you have a nice house.
The guards, not really knowing what the fuck went on, just seeing, like, the situation, they very hurriedly begin to escort you out the marble gates, get passed off to the other guards, you're being hurriedly out, like, you guys are rushing now, like, it is past dark, like, you guys are just getting out of this castle-y area. The big wooden doors at the very front close, ka-chunk, the drawbridge goes down, and you guys are literally left there with two guards in the darkness and a very bad taste in your mouth. And as you guys are kind of processing what the fuck just happened, you hear from behind the wall, like if you're looking at the main gate, like the side of the wall, you hear someone go, "Psst."
what in the
Turn
nine
and look.
Yeah, you turn and look, and all you can see is like a beckoning hand, like fade into the night. And that
Ladies and gentlemen,
is
ruined the
where we're
night.
gonna end our session.
Yeah.
Oh my god, no, it's right
30
there.
more minutes, 30 more minutes.
Get on my homework, please.
Hand is loaded. I don't trust this.
And
I know, right?
Oh,
Just the-
Dusty is crying.
that was interesting, you guys.
Well, now.
Is that a metaphor for the current
incarnation?
situation of what's going on? Did we just have a metaphorical episode? I know it was a little bit short, but next session you guys are really going to get into the meat and potatoes and like your first real quest. This was just you guys kind of feeling each other out and getting a little taste of the wonderful port of Qual royalty.
Yay.
I was so close to royal contacts. I was like, ah.
I love this.
Sorry.
I
I
Can't
love
love
it though. I love it
Can't
so
shut
much.
me up.
Yeah, so yeah, next session you guys are in it now, boy. You have made some strong enemies, and
Good.
What did we do wrong?
I don't know. I just
Rigel has
don't
no
know.
idea what we did wrong.
Also, I am so sad that I have to be the dickbag DM that introduces Rigel to the cold world.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
How you gonna
Shaking
look yourself
my
on that
head.
one?
Of the monarchy.
The monarchy just killing the innocents. But anywho's who's it? That was episode 3 of Reflections of Chaos, the Hallowed Expanse, the Hallowed Expanse.
Got him.
Got him,
Close.
JK. We will be back next Wednesday where we're going to get into their first quest. I'm really excited. Thank you guys for bearing with me for these couple of roleplay sessions. I think it's really important to like establish yourselves
sure,
in a
yeah.
party before like going on an adventure. Next Wednesday, 6 p.m. CST, 7 p.m. Central. We are going to be back at it with session 4. It's going to be a really fun one. This is going to be a great little plot line, so I hope you guys can catch it. As always, we are doing this for charity. This time we are rolling nat 20s for the Trevor Project, wonderful LGBT organization who we've supported in the past, and we love them very much. They're super great. We also want to thank Graphi, our artist, !art in chat, who did all this wonderful character art that you see along the sides. Please commission them if you ever need anything. They're really wonderful, and they don't just do D&D, they do all sorts of stuff. So check them out on Twitter. And then we're just going to shout each other out one more time, and then we're going to wrap it up for the evening. Demo, take it away.
Hi everybody, my name is Democracy. I stream on Tuesdays and Thursdays supporting charity. That charity is Broken Tail Rescue, which helps house cats to find their forever homes. Blanket and I have been working together. There is Mochi Boy, our sweet adopted
Aw.
kitten. He is our son, and we love him so much. Feel free to stop on by. Go X.
Everybody, I'm X. I stream and show off a lot of indie games. Random times, random days. If you catch me, you catch me. If you don't, you don't. Other than that, I'm gonna pass it off to Blanket.
Heyo, I'm a Blanket Burrito. Like Demo said, we have the Broken Tail Rescue that is currently our charity recipient. Mochi and his sister Maru are being wiggly beans, you alright? But they join us on our streams for Maple Story and Cats, and I hope I see you guys there. On to Saul.
Hey everyone, I'm Saul. I'm an executive producer and cast member of Turntables RPG. Check us out on YouTube. Just search Turntables RPG, and we're starting our season 3 of Monster of the Week in February. Very excited.
Can't
I'm
wait.
passing off to Wolf.
Hello, I'm Wolf, and I play video games. Feel free to join me on some very, very, very bad gameplay. Just generally bad gameplay. And thank you for
Lies.
joining us today.
Yes, thank you for joining the Hallowed Expanse. We will see you guys next Wednesday for some more shenanigans. In the meantime, take care of yourselves, take care of those around you, and just have a good week. We will see you next week.
Woo.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Have a good